Hey guys, it's Will. I want to go through the markets, and I'm also going to talk about uh, a couple of the scans or columns that I have in this TC2000, which is going to show you how I find pullback opportunities in an uptrending stock or ETF. So hopefully you'll find that interesting. So let's just jump into it. Oh yeah, if you want to get TC2000, which is what I'm using here, it's a software. Um, Works on different platforms. Check out the link in the description below. You can get a free trial or $25 off your purchase of a membership subscription. And so let's just get into this. So I've got some, I've got this down channel here, and it's pretty wide, but things were in a downslope, downtrend, and we've got this 50-day curling up a bit, and we've had some higher lows here. So we've broken out and gotten above the 50 and then we've supported it when it pulled back, and then it kept going. So that's a good sign. But we've gotten close to the upper channel here. And there's also like this horizontal, you can see we touched it here, and pretty much right where it, if I draw it horizontally. So if you hold shift down, you can draw a horizontal line. And we kind of bounce right off of it. So it's a double bounce of that recent, you've had multiple touches, and then you have the down channel here, the upper line of this down trending channel. So we'll see what happens. And it might start coming back down here. Ideally, you would start to go back up again with a higher low, or it could potentially touch the 50-day moving average. I'm not sure if it'll go down that much, but so you're kind of reacting to the current state of the charts. You're not really predicting. It's a probability situation. And the other charts are in a similar state. We have this horizontal touch here. We've had a little bit of a good ride here. It's sort of bouncing off, and that can go down to, you don't know how far it'll go. So if you were trading, you could probably buy here, and then you'd probably get out. But as it approached the other target location. But we have that horizontal, and then we have this channel as well. The 200-day is another spot that that things can bounce off of. Dow Jones, same sort of scenario. It's right at sort of this spot here, horizontal support at the upper channel. We'll see what happens here, but we can see it pulling back a bit from that spot. Russell 2000, right at that upper channel area, kind of broke up a little bit above it. So we are a positive sense. We've got all these things have rising bottoms, higher lows, above the 50-day. The 50 days sort of is basically curling up now. We're above the zero line on the price percent oscillator or MACD momentum. If we go to weekly, you've got the green volatility stop. I'll switch back to NASDAQ. You can see that we've bounced off that spot, but there's been some. But you get these little sections where you have green volatility stops, but it can still, it doesn't mean it's going to go forever. Because ideally, like when you look back here, you're above the 50-week, and you're in this really nice uptrend, way up. You're above the zero line on the momentum all the way to about here. Now we're down lower, so you're trying to bottom feed. You're trying to catch the bottom, and the risk is that it's a low momentum in a momentum area, and it's the downtrend is still strong in that sense, but there's some signs that we'd want to see it breaking these upper channels. Continue to do that. Eventually the 50 will get above the 200 as well, but so that's kind of the state. We've also seen a little bit of the volatility, the VIX starting to just a little perk up here. It's come back a bit from this morning, but there's some geopolitical issues, of course, but that can spike things. But it's settled down a little bit as of 8:30, well, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. with TC2000, you got the pre-market up here. You can see 732, and so you can see a gray area that shows you when you're in the pre-market, and you can trade that if you have a platform that allows you to do that. So what I usually do next is I go to the sectors, and you can sort by the change today, and so a lot of these haven't opened up yet in terms of the markets, but what I'll usually do is run a scan on that to make sure that they're above the volatility stop and above the 50 moving average. But this is a weekly chart, so it's going to be a bit, lower things. But you can find kind of the bulk of the strong charts. So that's the food and beverage, the solar. But if I go to daily, you get a lot more. Or I can use these columns I've created if it's above the weekly volatility stop, stuff like that. But the ones that were standing out, it depends how you sort this, but as like I said, the alternative energy, TAN, you had some crypto doing pretty well, and you had, what else did you have? Yeah, but a lot of the environmental stuff, clean energy, PVD, Hail is the smart mobility. So from there you can drill down into the stocks, which is nice with TC2000. You can open up related items, see a bunch of stocks that are in the that particular ETF. Like Uber's doing really good this morning, 11%, it's up already. So if you go to the weekly chart, you'll see as of today, it's got a green volatility stop, but and it's crossed over a little bit here. Not totally out of the woods, but because of this downtrend. But we're starting to see a bit of a turnaround there. So that you can look at stocks from from any individual ETF. I don't want to get too much into that because I'm going to talk right now about another thing I've done recently was what I would do is if I had stocks that were in an uptrend, I would put them in a watch list. Not a huge uptrend, but just starting to to perk up. And what you want to see is, like, if you've missed it, is a pullback like this. So instead of looking through a ton of these to figure out if there's a pullback opportunity, what I do, there's a couple things, I have a scan, and I've got a tab here. I'm going to go to this one here. I'll show you what it is. So TC2000 has a built-in scan called Recent Uptrend, which I've modified. It's a 15-day period. The close is greater than the close 5 days ago. The close 5 days ago is greater than the close 10 days ago. And the close 10 days ago is greater than the close 15, trading days ago. And what I did was I made it shorter than that. Just one close is greater than the close 8. You could, that's a little bit, the 15-day thing is a bit more of a convincing uptrend. But just right now I wanted to see some, a little bit shorter duration there. So it's not going to be potentially as strong as an uptrend. But so that's the first thing that was added. That was already built in to the watch list, to the scans that TC2000 has. But what I added was the close is the close is less than the previous close. And that's one down day, so to speak. But then I said, or two down days, close is less than close 1, and close 1 is less than close 2. So just to kind of make it a little bit more convincing. And you can alter this. This is just up for debate. You could do it, I need to see three days of pullbacks or whatever. But what it does is it identifies that there is a lower close, 1 or 2 of them. And then what I can do is draw a line like this. So on the right here on TC2000, there's a chart. I got to close this for a second. You can draw a line with this little menu item here, box. And it's a palette of things you can draw. But once I draw that line, I right click on it and say set alert. So when it crosses that line, and then I won't have to watch. So once I see a pullback, then the other thing I can do is add it manually to a list. The reason being is if the next day the close isn't less than the previous close, the scan won't show it anymore. So once I identify 1 or 2 pullback days, then I draw the line. I put it in. I can put it in, the watch list. But that takes a bit more manual, editing of this, of administration. So for example, if you look at Ethereum and Bitcoin in terms of the ETFs or the trusts, you can draw a line like this. But once you had like an update like that, you might not see it. So that's where the manual comes in. So I'll look through these scanned values here, and then I'll sort of manually put some of those into my list. So I'll show you the formula again. If I go to, let's just pick a watch list, US stocks. If I go scan, click on that box, select conditions, and then if I add a condition and I type in recent, you can see here there's a pre-built recent downtrend, recent uptrend. And over here it says close is greater than close 5, as I mentioned earlier. So then you can go plus and then add another formula if you want, or other conditions. You can add a whole bunch of conditions to a scan. Then you can save it. You put a name here, my condition, and save it. And then you can use that in, you could put it in a column, you could scan and use that pre-built condition. So sometimes I'll add volume in there. I don't want to see all the low volume stuff. So hopefully that helps. I hope you like TC2000 as much as I do. I love this program. I use it all the time, every day, for hours and hours a day. It's very worth it, especially if you're trading or investing and you want to, you're making money and stuff like that. It helps you quite a bit. So if you want to get a link to this program, and also to get a free trial and $25 off your purchase, your membership, check out the link in the description below. I hope you guys like this. I try to help people use the program as well. And good luck. We'll see you in the next video.